Welcome back. Bruce Porter joins us now for this week's Dollars and Cents segment, sponsored by the Resource Center.
Yep.
Thanks for coming in.
Good to be here.
Yeah, it's good to have you back. All right, Today we've got a lot to get to. We're going to talk about the topic of retirement unknowns.
Yeah.
There's a lot of unknowns, and you really don't have it all figured out until you get there. And then the run-up to it is like, wait a minute. How do I do this?
Yeah.
What's the best strategy?
I mean, retirement's a pretty emotional time in life because you're basically telling your money, I'm done, you're going to take care of me the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And so whether people admit it or not, they go through a lot of different emotions. They have to figure out a new hobby. They've got to figure out what to do with all their time. It becomes a big deal.
My spouse really doesn't want me in the house, so now what am I going to do?
Yeah, so they're going to throw you out and tell you to go do something.
I understand. I don't want you in here either. It's fine. We'll make it work, but we need to have some money to get away from each other.
Financially, though, you've got some advice for us.
Yeah, I mean, so the five major topics are, and I think we got a screenshot today for that. Investment risk. Obviously, there's investment risks we have to be concerned about. Inflation, which was not really an issue until the last 10 months, and healthcare costs. That's always a concern, and longevity, mortality, and then public policy risk. Today, we're going to focus on investment risk and inflation. So, when you talk about investment risk, we have to all become adults and know that.
We do?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to your money, if you think that your investments are going to generate 12, 15, 20% per year, wouldn't that be great?
Wouldn't it be nice?
It'd be euphoria. We would not have any worries. Everybody would make a ton of money, and we would have no concerns.
Sign me up.
Exactly.
But that doesn't happen, right?
Yeah.
Investments go up, investments go down. So now, when you're in a retirement situation, you've got to consider the up, the down. How's that going to affect my standard of living? How's that going to affect my lifestyle? Things like that. Asset allocation becomes part of investment risk. When you're allocating, when you're working, you're more aggressive, right?
Yes.
And as you retire, it just makes sense to become more conservative with the allocation mix. So now when you're reviewing the way your money is positioned, are you truly diversified, or do you have just a whole bunch of different investments? And a lot of time people think they're diversified, and they're not. They may have, I'll give you an example. Let's say you have half your money in AutoZone and half your money in O'Reilly.
It's still
Are you diversified?
Right?
No, you're in the same sector, right? And so, that's just popped in the top of my head. So when you're diversified, that means you've got one segment of your investments that is offsetting the other segment.
Yes.
So when this one is up, this one may be lagging. When this one is up, this one may be lagging. But together they may do this and just gradually work themselves up, and that's what we all hope for. But diversification becomes a major concern. Call it modeling. I've got a little bit aggressive, I've got a little bit moderate, I've got a little bit conservative. All of that makes sense because now we're not working. We can't make contributions and make up those losses.
Right.
We have to let it do its own thing. So that becomes a concern. Interest rates. Well, again, we have to be adults. Interest rates, we all, if you got all your money invested in bank CDs, obviously you want the interest rates to come up.
Yes.
But if you got all your money invested in the stock market, you want interest rates to stay down.
Stay where they are.
Because it's stimulating economic
nice
growth.
For a while. Right. Is it going to last, though?
But here's the deal. They can't really lower interest rates much more than they're already at.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
And when you ask yourself the question, why is the U.S. stock market here and the entire world is in chaos? It causes me some concern that the entire growth impact of the market is based on one thing. Interest. It's not like everybody's working and we're all happy. We're not. Those of us that are working, we're glad to be working. But I don't like the government's idea of me paying for everybody else that chooses to stay home.
Well, and if you're about to retire and you're thinking we may be on the cusp of a recession, which could happen anytime, but it's been a long time, then you got to really assess this. Get some professional advice from somebody like him. If you have a question for Bruce, visit resourcecenterinc.com or give him a call, 882-1800. Merry Christmas to you. Good
Merry
to see you.
Christmas.
We will pick it up again next week.
Yes, we will. We'll be right back.